I told you this during show prep that I wanted this conversation to flow organically, and I have another question for you. How does coaching look like for a person who, say, has their first leadership position, as opposed to someone who has been in leadership for a while, and say they're at the cusp of, maybe getting a promotion where they're going to lead, like, a multinational corporation? What does the coaching look like for those two?
Mm-hmm. So, one thing I'll say is, it's always going to obviously be individualized, right? It's all, regardless of where somebody is at. But I will say, for the person who's just getting into their first leadership role, a lot of times there's almost a sense of shock at, like, okay, now this is something they probably have been working towards, or maybe propelled towards, and now they're there, and they either don't realize, like, well, how did I get here? Oh my goodness, now what? And oftentimes the skills that you needed in order to get you to this point, they've been really beneficial, but now you're in the role, and there's going to be new skills that you may have to either acquire or get much better at, because the role you're in now is going to challenge you in ways you hadn't been challenged before. So I think that's kind of a common feature for somebody who's newer into their leadership role. Somebody who's, about to lead a multinational organization, or I think the difference there is they've had several different promotions up to that point. They've probably experienced challenges both internally, externally. They have a bigger profile, but they also are often significantly more isolated in that role. And they're really probably at a point of thinking, like, okay, how am I going to make my mark at this level, right? How am I going to either make this stand out in some way, or take this to, because there's probably a lot of pressure from the board and others to really take this to the next level. So what am I going to do? What's going to be my strategy in order to, take this someplace where it hasn't been before? Because the status quo is probably not going to be enough.
One of the things, something else that came to mind, I'm just enjoying this so much. this so much.
Mm-hmm.
When someone is just starting out in leadership, and thank you for addressing the question I just asked, but another thing that I find that, I guess, can be a little overwhelming is trying to see the long view of, like, where is this going to take me, and where should it take me? Where should this position take me, and what path am I on? And a lot of times people don't have a roadmap, I guess. And I guess that's the benefit of a coach. But can you speak to the fact that a lot of people come in and, yeah, you're like, yay, great, I've got this position. Like you said, there's the overwhelm, there's the, oh my God, what am I doing now?
Right.
But then it's after they have a chance to take a breath, sometimes, it's kind of hard to see 5 years, down the road, where should I be? What should this look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm so glad you brought that, because that's so true. Again, I think a lot of times, as early in people's careers, the career is almost driving them.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that they are driving the career, where they have a sense of, like, the longer game, right? I want, in 5 years, I want to be here, and here's why I want to be here. Right. In 10 years, I want to be here, and here's why I want to be here. And then being intentional about the way that they're showing up, again, how they're investing in themselves, what resources, network, what they're building in order to get to those places. So it's sort of like things are happening all along. They're earning these roles all along, but they're not necessarily driving it. It's, oh, okay, this opportunity has come up, I'm going to go for it, or it seems like the next thing I should go for. But why? why, what is it about that is going to benefit you? How is that serving you? How does that align with what your values are, what your personal mission is? And when we don't take time to kind of, like you said, reflect on that, think that through, you can find yourself, however many years, particularly into leadership, and sort of going like, well, I'm here, but I don't really know. I don't know why. I don't know what I want to get out of this. I don't know if I feel fulfilled in what I'm doing, because it hasn't really been about, oh, this is what's of value to me, and I'm going to go after this because it aligns with that value, or it aligns with what my actual goals are for my life.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah.